And again, this is WCG Canada with your host, Conflict. Some of you might know me. I've been around for a long time, played many tournaments. I was actually asked kind of last minute to do this. My co-host, Played Mega for the Win, who you also know, who helped with the first one, was unable to make yesterday or today. So it's just me. And we are starting. I expect that we have some pings going out. I expect that a T1 will go into the G8 buildings to kind of watch that 8-9 side. Most people don't really attack that. I expect a 1390 will also go over to the west. Probably a T1 as well to the island. So the IS-3 most likely is going to go towards the hill just because there's not really anywhere else you want to put them. You want to have him near the hill, though, as that armor block in case you do push up. We see Cool HMAR going up there with him. With that depression, it makes sense. T1, Memory Lake going over to the east, staying in base. We have spotted already 2 T-69s. I'm not sure what spotted them. Probably Pyro, as they went across the water there. Or, actually, that was McBlack-B. Like I said, it's very fast, has great vision, good camo. Then have Hot Frank spotted his 90. Pyro spotted him and is running away. He knows that there is backup, although that may be dangerous given that those 269s are over there, but he's out of their vision, I believe. So they're giving up that island. Pyro does take a hit by Red Paradise. We saw Red in that same spot yesterday being very effective. Kayla's taking a hit from McBlack-B, however. Shade staying in his bush, keeping passive vision. The only problem I see right now is the area that Pyro gave up. Now, if a tank does try to cross like Red Paradise, he will be spotted by Shade. Cool HMAR will have shots. E63 might have shots. McBlack-B is keeping that hill locked down. And we've got Memory Lake on the other side. And I said legit at the back there, sniping because of the 5100. Good choice to do that. So right now, we will probably have Call Me Sarge either in this area or right here. But more than likely he's at the back at A4 sniping because McBlack-B is there to spot him. So McBlack-B is, yep, there he is. There he spotted Sarge at A4 as predicted. That means that there's at least one 1390 Red Paradise on the island, probably another 1390 around the town side, with both T69s up on the island as well. There's probably a T1 over on the town side as well, and another T1, I'm not sure where they would have put it. Probably hanging around in base as a backup. So let's swap over to Pyro. So most of the action is going to happen on the west side of the map, I believe, unless teams decide to, or unless Sarge's team decides to make a very concerted effort to go town, but they will probably be spotted if that happens. So this is where the battle is going to happen on the 1 through 5 line, I believe. There may be a T1 battle on the 8. We saw that happen yesterday, but that's probably about it. Both teams have high stakes in this battle, so I don't expect to see much in terms of reckless movement. This will probably be calculated. We saw a bit of aggressiveness earlier in the game. McBlack-B, I believe, probably surprised them, spotting the 69s, being that he got up there so quickly. And nothing really spotted him as he went up, I believe. With 6 minutes, 50 to go. This is a 10-minute battle. McBlack-B just getting some blind shots in there, expecting a tank to be near that rock, I would believe. They are pinging now. They know that the one line is not being spotted. Tree down to the right of McBlack. I'm sure he heard that. So he knows that there's something behind him. He's going to try to passive scout it, most likely. Let's look at Cool. He's assuming that there's a 1390 around that rock down there in the form of Hot Frank. Hot Frank, I believe, is still around H1. E63 taking hits from a T69, it looks like. Let's try to get a vision on where he got hit. Looks like he got hit right on the turret. Wow, that shot does not usually pen. We have a T1 spotting him. So something getting very good RNG, hitting him on the side there. Usually that would bounce as well as on the turret ring. So he's taking some damage probably from a T69, maybe a 1390. Over on the island side. So they're definitely spotted. They're in a bit. They're okay in this position. I would say that as long as they stay safe, use their T1 to spot, they'll be okay for right now. The problem is the Red Ehs have a much larger area of control. They're able to spot as they please, or at least easier. They're able to at least try to spot, whereas the only thing spotting right now is McBlackB on the hill, who's trying to make something happen, and then the passive scouts in terms of Pyro and Shade. So basically, they can't spot anything until the other team makes a move, whereas the Red Ehs are able to spot a bit easier with their island guys being in a much more advantageous spot right now. This game could end in a draw, however. Both teams are positioned well to cover each other. You see every tank is within firing distance and firing range of the other. With Legit in the back here, able to dish out a lot of pain in any direction when needed. McBlackB keeping the top of that hill secured, keeping that north side at least somewhat illuminated in case of a surprise. And I don't think there will be a surprise because Hot Frank is essentially trapped at H2. So if anything would happen, they would have to pull all their tanks back and Hot Frank would be spotted. So they're not going to leave their current positions, I don't think. And Red is spotted now, probably by Shade. Red knows he's spotted, he's hanging back, so he's not going to move. He's waiting to cover Hot Frank. There's probably T-69s behind him in case Hot Frank gets jumped. Oh, we do see movement on the hill. Kalis taking a bunch of damage. Kalis is probably going to go down unless he backs off right away. Red Paradise moving in now. Kalis, Sarge, and Comps made that move to distract, I believe, from the island, whereas Red is now trying to advance, but I do not believe Red expected to take damage from Legit, which I believe is who shot him originally. He's now in a somewhat of a hull-down position, but if he moves up any more, he's going to take fire from Legit. Hot Frank, I'm surprised he hasn't moved yet. I'm waiting for him to make a move. This is the time to go. He needs to be spotting that rear area, spotting Legit. Shade is just passive scouting, no problem. E63 did take a bunch of damage, so HP-wise, it's pretty even right now. Slightly in favor of the Red Ehs, but nothing consequential. Call Me Sarge did take a hit, so it's probably about even now. They know they can't push the hill just yet because it's a 3v3 and they'd be running into guns. So whichever team runs into guns is going to lose usually, unless unless we have an RNG miracle. So the Red Ehs trying to make something happen, but the other team is pretty defensively set up, except for McBlackB being up there on his own, but he's able to run away. I'm surprised they haven't tried to move out at all. They've pretty much stayed in their original positions, basically trying to draw the Red Ehs out. But with 2 minutes 19 to go, the Red Ehs just aren't able to push in without losing 8 points. As much as they would like to, it looks like they're trying to make something happen. You can't really move against a team that's set up this defensively and not lose 8 points very quickly and the game. At this point, I expect the teams to probably hang tight, let the 2 minutes go by. There may be a move up against Red Paradise. They may try to pop him, try to get the points out. Two T1s going up the hill just to try to see what's there. Comps in front. The T1s are actually going up first to take shots. Each T1 that goes down is a shot that's been fired, but cool. Comps does go down. Sarge is probably going to go down as well. I'm not sure why they would do that because of the amount of HP still remaining, but they are down points now, I believe. But E63 did go down there even on points now. It's 8-10 right now, so no team would lose just yet. They were able to take out that IS-3, so props for moving up there and trying something, but I believe at this point it's probably going to be a draw unless they push Sarge. Cool HMR is probably reloading. If him and push Sarge, they could take them out as well as Kalis. I believe they are going to try to push now. They're going to try to make something happen and try to win this. They will probably win this now, given that they have the HP advantage. I don't see them losing this anymore. That's two. It's one down. Sarge goes down, and Kalis goes down, and this is a win for the scrubs. In my opinion, the Red Ehs should have probably held on to their neutrality at this point and not tried to make that push. They lost way too much HP. Now Red is going to go down. I'm not sure where Hot Frank is. I have not seen him all game. Oh, he appears now. Somewhat out of the battle for most of this. I'm not sure if maybe he had a disconnect. But that is going to be the game. 16 seconds to go. It'll be 1-0. And we will switch to the next map. Red goes down to McBlack B, and Hot Frank is about to get sandwiched by the T1, and legit T1 almost taking out Hot Frank before legit finishes them off, and that is 1-0. Alright, we will wait for the teams to switch map, and do their vetoes again. So we will go to commercial.
The legend begins with MSI Dragoon Army. A unique and legendary army comprised of an elite group of fighters. Now, pick up your ammo and weapons. MSI Gaming Motherboard, Gaming Graphics Card. MSI Gaming Notebook, Gaming All-in-One PC. Be a new breed of the Dragoon Army with MSI to conquer any battleground. Top player, top choice.
And we're back, tank selection screen. They're picking map. Apparently they've picked Abby, so I was wrong. Someone picked Abby today. Looks like Sarge, the losing team, picks the map on the side. So the Red Ehs have picked the south of Abby. Tank selection is underway. We saw an interesting last game. Relatively exciting towards the end, I suppose. A lot of, I guess, positioning and spotting going on towards the end as well. Kind of a different team from yesterday. Both teams playing somewhat different than they had yesterday. So it's interesting to see. But we're going to be in Abbey now. Just waiting for people to come back from bio break, I believe. I believe one of the PCs is having an issue, so we are standing by for tech support. tank selection almost complete. One more tank to go, I believe. 2 more tanks to go. And we're ready to go. So again, this is WCG Canada. Teams today fighting for the prize of a trip to China for the grand finals. All expenses paid for 7 players, plus a $1,500 plus 100,000 gold. Second place gets 1,000 gold plus $1,000 plus 60,000 gold, and third place gets $500 plus 40,000 gold. And again, this is on a 10-minute delay, so you'll hear my voice 10 minutes from right now in real time. That is to prevent cheating. Not that anyone is cheating since they're both live, but hey, it is what it is. So, teams have almost picked all their tanks. On the side of the Red Ehs, which is the side we'll be on this time, they've got 2 T69s, 2 1390s, 5100, 2 T1s. A fairly light lineup, no heavy tanks. And on the side of the Scrubs, we've got 2 T69s, 2 5100s, and a 1390. So a little bit more HP on that side. So I expect to see a bit more dancing and scouting on the side of the Red Ehs, and a bit more static 2-line from the Scrubs. Alright, so we're about to start here. I predict 1390 going to the middle, maybe both of them going up to the middle for the Red Ehs. This is an interesting side to bring 2 1390s from. From the north side, we're actually able to get 90s up into that monastery area without using the 5-line road. You can actually go from the back. From this side, it's a bit more dangerous. So we'll see if they'll actually send both up into the middle. But I think if they do, they're planning to overwhelm Pyro if he goes up there. We're actually having Kalis going towards the right, or they're going up the middle. It appears like they're all going up the middle. So this is different. A bit of a surprise, I would think, for the other team, given that it is a lighter lineup, and you would expect them to kind of play it a little more defensively. But as is for the Red Ehs, they like to be aggressive, so they're going red up the middle, with Red Paradise going up the 6th line to get that flank, Comps going towards the left to flank from the west, and then Sarge, Hotfreak, and Kalis going up the middle. So Sarge using his good hull down and the T69 to cover that middle road, Hotfreak getting right up in there, make sure that the other team can't send anything up there without contest. But as we see, Hotfreak is able to find a Pyro who got up from the back there. He's about to get sandwiched. I don't think he realizes that the entire team is right there. But I think he's figured it out. He's probably proxied them. They know he's there. Pyro is now the spotter. I would imagine that the other team is now coalescing around their base. Legit in a surprising spot here. He's able to get up here. I don't think he realized that Red would be there. So he has taken a shot. There are tanks behind him. It appears that most of the Scrubs are actually on the 7-8 line, probably with a 90, or rather a 69 at B3, just watching that Overwatch area. Comps has set up at D3 in a side position there, able to flank from that western half should they need fire over there. But right now they're not able to actually see anything other than a Pyro, so I would expect a T1 maybe on base. On the side of the Scrubs, we see the T1s from the Red Ehs are just playing defensive as tripwires, basically watching that 8 line, watching the cap. We see an 8 line push as expected. Most of the Scrubs are on the 8 line with Legit and Cool HMR pushing down that 8 road. Pyro is just going to hang out there and keep them busy, but he's about to get sandwiched. He is going to go down, I would assume, just because he is surrounded. Hot Frank is waiting for him. He's taken a shot by Hot Frank. Red Paradise will come around now and have that chase ability. We see McBlackB and Cool HMR, though, on the road, able to fire, but Red is there. He's got shots on Pyro. Pyro will have to back up if he wants to escape. He has taken damage. Sarge and Kalis now aiming to put some shots into McBlackB. but they're backing off and have gone dark. So now it's just Pyro playing bait. What's happened though is that the base has been left somewhat open. Red Ehs have been able to force scrubs to move up a bit, and then have kind of dissected their line here. So we see red is probably going to go up into the base, try to pop the T1s, while Sarge and company holds down the scrubs at the D7 area. So you notice that the boxes on cap are still up, so red may be able to use this to his advantage if he wants to get on cap here. Red is on cap though, he's trying to lure out the T1s. We see at J8 it's probably a T1 versus T1 memory leak over there versus Kree. Memory leak has probably spotted him first. He will get the first shots off most likely. We have E63 coming back. This is likely a team-wide move, moving back towards the base to try to decap and reestablish the line towards their cap. However, Comps, Sarge, and Kalis are ready and moving towards the base. Hot Frank is keeping that middle lit up in case of a base push from the other side. Right now, I'd expect T69 coming up to try to engage red, with Pyro still being trapped. Looks like he's probably going to be engaged shortly. He's 366, he's just taken a hit. He's probably going to go down. Red's taking a shot. He's one shot from death. Red blind firing. Red has been decapped by a T1 in the form of Shade. Those 1390s are quite thin. A T1 is able to put shots into them. McBlackB is spotted, takes a hit from Kalis, and Comps. So they've set up an interesting line here. Kalis and Comps are able to watch that area where a team would come up to try to decap, and able to put a good amount of damage in, and then Sarge has the high ground here, also able to cover. So we see this triangle here. Kulmar has actually surprised Red. I did not see that coming. He's able to come up there and spot. Red is now in a lot of trouble because he's been forced out of his position into a trap. He's just gone down to legit, so now they are up 8 points. So the Red Ehs now have to make something happen. They need to kill HMAR to even it out, or pop a T1 in order to remove that 8-point advantage. We see Pyro at 135. He's one shot from death. He could be killed by a T1 if he gets high rolls. Hot Frankie taking damage from legit, however, taking 2 shots from legit and another tank. At this point, the Red Ehs are a bit stagnant. They need to move out, re-engage, kill Shade. We see Terrakova being engaged and lit on fire. Terrakova takes down Shade, taking 4 damage. That was an excellent roll for him, lighting the other T1 on fire. The points are now even. It is no longer a loss if the Red Ehs end without killing another tank, assuming they don't lose any other tanks as well. We have Kree, Memory Leak facing off. They've spotted each other. I would assume Kree is just going to hold that corner, wait for Kree to make a move, because as is the norm, whichever tank fires first in a T1 battle tends to win, assuming he gets all of his shots in and doesn't miss any, or doesn't bounce. In general, you don't want to be the one going around the corner, especially if the force is even 4-on-4 or 2-on-2 or whatever it may be. We have action over here with Sarge and Comps. Comps taking a hit from legit. Comps is one shot from death. Sarge killing Pyro, but Comps is going to go down probably to McBlackB. Sarge going down 112. Both are one shot, but it may be a trap. Cool HMAR is coming in, taking shots from Hot Frank and Kalis. Kulmar takes out Comps. Legit taking fire. There's a lot of HP being a lot of HP being diminished quickly. Sarge does go down to Cool HMAR. This is not looking good for the Red Ehs. There is a lot of HP in McBlackB. Hot Frank better watch his right side, or his back side now, because they're still legit in the 5100. Kree Memory Leak still staring each other down. I assume something may happen soon. It is now a 4v2. This was looking up for the Red Ehs, but the Scrubs were able to kind of reassess, relocate, and from the static position of the Red Ehs, assume where their positions were and take shots from multiple directions. Surprise, surprise, Legit has actually come out of his spot and killed Kree. They're going to go for the cap now. I would assume a Memory Leak will now get on cap, try to put some pressure, but we see Terrakova is actually on the Scrubs cap, so we're going to see a cap start on the side of or on the Red Ehs cap rather, we'll see Memory Leak and Legit get on. 2 tanks is faster than 1. Hot Frank is going to have to decap this. He does have great vision range in the 1390, but he may not be able to stop this. We will see. We have 2 tanks at least on the Red Ehs cap versus 1 on the cap of the Scrubs. You can be sure that the Scrubs are sending someone back to stop that cap right now because they have an excess of tanks. Hot Frank is not able to spot anything. He needs to get down there and try and spot that T1. Oh, he does see them now. He's able to put shots in. He will probably take out Legit, but Memory Leak is still capping. Legit goes down to 97, but he's left Memory Leak alone, and Hot Frank does get the blind fire in on Legit. Legit did not leave enough space for Memory Leak to hide behind, however. This may be a cap out. We have 15 seconds left. Kalis is taken out by... does destroy McBlackB. E63 takes out Kalis 5100. It is now Hot Frank versus Cool HMAR. Hot Frank at 469. 2 to 3 shots. Cool HMAR definitely needs 2 shots to go down. 10 seconds, and this is a cap out. Terrakova is on the cap. He just needs to stay alive for the next 5 seconds. Hot Frank about to take out Cool HMAR. He does take him out, and it is a cap victory on the side of the Red Ehs. E63 was just not fast enough to get back there and did not have the initiative to take out the T1. So it is now 1-1, a surprising end. 4v2 turned into a victory for the side with 2 tanks. So it is 1-1. It is best of 5. So you can win 1 battle and draw the next 4 and win it. But now it's 1-1, 3 matches to go. Both teams now need to win at least 1 more and then draw the rest out. Alright, we are waiting for another invite back into the game.
passion to win, playing heart to heart, face to face. challenge of a lifetime stands before us now. Beyond the game, through the portal into cyberspace, we have come to decide our fate. We're here to celebrate. Beyond the game, beyond the game. At last, the moment's at hand. All we need is to believe we can. We'll make our stand. Beyond the game, 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 beyond the game. The world's cyber game. Beyond the game, beyond the game, beyond the game. The world's cyber game.
The legend begins with MSI Dragoon Army. A unique and legendary army comprised of an elite group of fighters. Now, pick up your ammo and weapons. MSI Gaming Motherboard, Gaming Graphics Card. MSI Gaming Notebook, Gaming All-in-One PC. Be a new breed of the Dragoon Army with MSI to conquer any battleground. Top player, top choice.
Alright, we're back. Just waiting for players to get re-invited. So this will be a few minutes yet. Players, I believe, are taking a bio break as well. So let's talk about what happened last game a little bit here. So we saw the Red Ehs, very forceful with their lighter lineup, go right into the middle, take advantage of that, take the initiative, and then they became stagnant and lost that initiative. Whereas the Scrubs were able to kind of dynamically adjust to that. We saw the Scrubs play a lot more defensive in the first game, and then the second game play a lot more dynamically. And I'm not sure that's what they were planning, but they all went down that 8 line. They were able to evaluate the enemy position, and then start to envelop based on the enemy team, or based on the Red Ehs not moving enough, in my opinion. But the Red Ehs were able to pull it out with some fancy footwork. Terakova getting on cap and essentially drawing the Scrubs out of their position that they had kind of developed, and I don't think they'd actually planned for it. They kind of developed that positioning as the game went on, as happens frequently. So they were able to pull the Scrubs back into two directions, one going to cap, one getting off cap. And we saw Hot Frank just barely get the spotting he needed to stop the cap. And what happened was he put a shot into the 5100, who was guarding the T1, but the T1 was actually behind the 5100 at one point. The 5100 then moved to try to get out of range of, or out of vision range of Hot Frank, but Hot Frank knew that there's only one place he's going to go. He put a shot in on the blind fire, took him out, and the problem was that 5100 was too far towards the edge of the cap to provide any covering for the T1. So the T1 was not able to get on the cap and behind that cover. So the cap timer became a 1v1 again, and at that point the Scrubs needed to then kill, I believe, Shade, who was on cap, Shade from the Red Ehs. So the Red Ehs were down 2 tanks, down 2 whole tier 8 tanks, and were able to pull it out, taking out a couple tanks when the Scrubs essentially panicked and had to run back. E63 may have not been loaded. He was close to cap, but not able to get up there quick enough, and probably wasn't reloaded, so Game ended via cap out. Somewhat surprising. I thought the Red Ehs were dead, but it shows you that fancy footwork, and keeping your heads cool can win you the game. So it is now 1-1 going into game 3 of 5. This is a best of 5.